Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and in this video we are going to see another example for version space and candidate elimination algorithm. So I have covered one example in the previous video, and you can check the playlist to see that video. You can find the playlist on our channel. Just you search for machine learning playlist, then you can find all those machine learning videos in that playlist. So yeah, now let's discuss this example and let's understand how this candidate elimination algorithm works, and let's refine our understanding, right? So here I have took an example, the data which we are feeding to the machine learning model. Here I have took first the negative example, then the third example is negative. So in the previous video we worked with positive examples, and in the middle there was one negative example and remaining were positive. And now we are seeing what will be the case if the first example only is negative, right? So let's see that how it works. First of all, we will initialize the specific and general hypothesis with null and question marks respectively, because specific should be specific and it will not accept any values in the initial, and general hypothesis will accept all the values, so all the attributes will accept all the values. That means one attribute, that is question mark, which is the color, it will accept all colors, green, red, orange, all colors. The second question mark, it will accept all shape, oval, round, all shapes. And the third one will contain all values, sweet, lightly sweet, sour, all these tastes. So we have initialized it. Now we will go on to first example, and the first example is negative example. Now what we will do is we will compare. First we will work with specific. As it is negative example, we need not to do anything with the specific hypothesis. How am I saying this? Let's see. First we will compare null, null, null and example 1. So here null and example 1, these are not same, and the example 1 is a negative example, and here it is consistent. So what we will do, we will keep it as it is. We will keep that s1 is equals to null, null and null. Now let's work with general hypothesis. This question marks and example 1 are same, because question mark will contain all colors, so it will contain green also. Second question mark will contain all shapes, so it will contain oval also. Question mark will contain all tastes, so it will contain lightly sweet also. So question mark, G naught and example 1 are same, and this example 1 is negative. So what it came, that this G naught, that is question mark and question mark, is inconsistent. Now what do we have to do if the uh, hypothesis is inconsistent? We will create another hypothesis using the present example. How we'll do that? We will have the opposite of the present value, that is opposite color of green, which are red and orange. So we will cover red and orange, and remaining attributes will remain question mark. Now for the second attribute, we will cover all opposite colors of oval, which is round, and remaining attributes will be question mark. So I covered round over here. Now after this, we will consider the third attribute, which is lightly sweet, and we will write all the other tastes which are opposite of lightly sweet. So I have covered sweet and sour, which are opposite of lightly sweet. So we covered all the examples and we created the hypothesis. Now what we will do is we will compare these examples with all the examples that we have covered till now. So how many examples have we covered till now? Only first example. Excuse me. Hmm? I got this bottle when I went to Google office in Hyderabad. there was a event conducted, so I went there. So they gifted us, all of the participants. Uh, let's focus on the example. Now we will compare it with the examples we have covered till now. So we have covered only first example till now. So we will compare it with the first example. So red, question mark and question mark. Is it same? Green, oval and lightly sweet? No, not same. Because green and red are different, but all other attributes are covering the other values. But the first attribute is not same. So what we will tell it, that the example 1 is negative, so it is consistent, as this and the example 1 are not same, and the example 1 is negative, hence it is consistent. Do you understand it? As this both are not matching, and also this example is negative, so it is consistent. That means we will eliminate this example if they will match. That means if the hypothesis is negative, then we will remove it. And if these both are not same and this is negative, then we will keep it, because these both are not matching. The negative example is not matching the hypothesis, so these are not connected, so we will keep it as it is. Now the second, orange, question mark and question mark. So are the example and this hypothesis same? Not same. So, and the example also is negative, so the hypothesis is consistent. Now let's compare the third hypothesis, which is question mark, round and question mark. So here the shape, this oval is not matching, so we will keep this hypothesis as it is. Now the fourth hypothesis, question mark and sweet. So these are not same, we will keep it as it is. And the last one, question mark and soar, not same, we will keep it as it is. So finally we got G1 with 5 hypotheses, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, right? Now we will go to a second example, which is a positive example. Now if we encounter a positive example, we will work with specific hypothesis. So what we will do, we will compare this null and the present example, and we will replace the attributes if they are we will replace the attribute with question mark if they are not same. So what we will do here, null and red both are not same, so we will replace it with red. Null and round are not same, we will replace with round. Null and sweet we will replace it with sweet. So first, though, as it was null, we kept the real values. After that, in next steps, if the values are not same, we will replace it with question mark. So specific done. Now come to general hypothesis. We will compare all these hypotheses with the current example, which is this second example. So compare G1 with example 2 and keep in mind that example 2 is positive. So if red, question mark and example 2 are same and the example 2 is positive, then this this hypothesis is consistent. That means we want it to be same, and if it is not same, we will eliminate the hypothesis. So that is the concept. And the next hypothesis, orange, question mark and question mark. Orange not same, so not same, but the hypothesis is positive, so we will remove it. Now the third hypothesis, question mark, round and question mark. This covered and this also covered, and it is a positive example, so consistent. Now the fourth one, question mark, covered and sweet, both are same. So and also this is positive example, so consistent. Now let's compare the last one, that is question mark, covered, but this is not same, and we and we have this example is positive. So this is inconsistent and we will remove it. So we are remaining with this, this, and this fourth one. So we have four hypotheses left in G2. So example 2 covered example 3. Compare this with example 3 and note that the example 3 is negative. So we don't need to cover this specific hypothesis, because as it is negative we will not change anything in specific hypothesis. So here if we compare this with example 3, which is negative, both are not same. Red, round and sweet, this is not same, this is same, but this is not same. So the example 3 and this hypothesis are not same, but this example is negative, so it is consistent. So we will keep the hypothesis same as it is. Let's work with general hypothesis now. As it is a negative hypothesis, we will do more work in this. So here we will observe that what things are we doing when the example is negative and when the example is positive, and what more things are we doing when the hypotheses are consistent and are inconsistent. So let's see that. Here with the general hypothesis, we will compare each of the attribute with example 3, and here note that the example 3 is negative. So we will compare it one by one. Red, question mark and question mark. So example 3, first only it is orange, it is not matching, so it is consistent because example 3 is negative. Now this second example, which is question mark, round and question mark, so this is covered, round is covered, and lightly sweet is also covered. So this is inconsistent as the example 3 is negative. So here what we will do is we will replace the next question mark, I mean the next attributes with the opposite values of that attribute. Let me tell you how. If this and this are same and example 3 is negative, we will consider this as inconsistent. And now what we will do is we will replace this with the opposite values of this current example, which is orange. So I will consider red and green. So I took red and green, and the another attributes are exactly same as it was. You observe it. Now for the next attribute, I mean the next question mark over here, this, for this we will keep this two attributes same, and we will consider the negative values of this attribute, which are sweet and sour. So I have covered sweet and sour. You understand this? Now let's compare the third hypothesis, which is question mark and sweet. So question mark covered, and sweet, so not same, and the example is negative, so it is consistent. We will retain it as it is. So now we got this, and here we have some four hypotheses and this hypothesis. So entirely we have 4, 5 and 6 hypotheses. Now what we will do is, after getting this all hypothesis, we will compare it with the examples until which we have came with. So this attribute we will compare it with first example, red, not matching, but the hypothesis is negative, so it is consistent. Red, covered, round with question mark, covered, sweet with question mark, covered, and the example is positive, so it is consistent. Next, red not matching. So the example is negative. So it is consistent. So we will retain it. Now let's check for the next hypothesis. This one, question mark and sweet. First example, question mark and sweet. Here this is not same. But the example is negative, so it is consistent. Question mark and sweet. The example is positive, so it is consistent. Question mark and sweet, not same, but the example is negative, so it is consistent. So we will retain this example also. Third hypothesis, red round and question mark. Red not there, round not there, and question mark covered, but the example is negative. As this is not same and the example is negative, it is consistent. Now the next, red round and sweet. For the question mark, it is covered and it is positive example, so consistent. Next, red not there, round is there, and lightly sweet is also there, but this first one is only not there, but the example is negative, so it is consistent. So we will retain the third hypothesis also. Now let's cover the fourth hypothesis, green round and question mark. Green covered, round not there, but the example is negative, so consistent. Now here green not there, but the example is positive, so this hypothesis is inconsistent, so we will remove this hypothesis. Now let's compare the next hypothesis, question mark round and sweet. Question mark covered, round not there, but still as it is negative example, it is consistent. Next, question mark covered, round covered, sweet covered, as it is positive, it is consistent. Now question mark covered, round covered, sweet not covered, but as it is negative, it is consistent. So we will retain this example. Now the next one, question mark round and sour. Question mark round, as it is negative, consistent. Question mark round, as it is positive, it is not consistent. So we will remove this hypothesis also. So we are remaining with four hypotheses, this with sweet, this and this. So four hypotheses are remaining with us in the third general hypothesis.
If you observe example 2 is positive. When we got a hypothesis inconsistent, we simply removed it. If you observe example 3 is negative. When we got a hypothesis inconsistent, we created more hypothesis. Finally, we compared all hypothesis with all examples until which we have worked with.
Whew, this is too much. Now let's jump on to the fourth example. Compare this, because it is a positive example, we will compare the specific hypothesis. Now we will replace if the attributes are not same with question mark. So we have red, round and sweet, and here we have red, round and sour. So we will replace one attribute with question mark. I did that. So this is the specific hypothesis for the fourth example. Now let's compare the general hypothesis with this example 4. So in the general hypothesis, we have these four hypotheses and we are going to compare all of them one by one. So red, question mark and question mark. Red covered, question mark covered, sour covered, and it is a positive example, so it is consistent. So it is consistent. Now the next one, question mark and sweet. So question mark and sweet. Here we don't have sweet and the example is positive, so it is not consistent and we will remove it. The next one, red, round and question mark. Red, round and question mark. All are covered, example is positive, hence consistent. Now the next one, question mark, round and sweet. So this question mark, round and sweet is not there, so the example is positive, so it is inconsistent, so we will remove it. Now to understand this, Now we have this and this two hypotheses remaining in G4. Let's go to next example, which is fifth example, and it is a positive example. So we will compare the specific hypothesis with this. So red, round and question mark compared with green, round and sweet. So red, we will replace it with question mark. Round, it will retained as round. Sweet, we have question mark. So we have question mark, round and question mark. So this is the updated hypothesis. You got it? Now we will compare the general hypothesis with this example. We have two general hypotheses. So red, question mark and question mark. Red, not same, but it is a positive hypothesis. So it is inconsistent. So we will remove it. And the second example, red, round and question mark. Red, it is a positive. So inconsistent. So we will remove this also. As we removed both of the hypotheses, what should I keep then? We have to replace it with the last example's attributes, that is green, round, and sweet. So that's it. We have come to the final hypothesis, which is for specific, we have question mark, round, and question mark. And for general, we have green, round, and sweet. So this is the final hypothesis. Whew, this is too much. I never spoke continuously for this much time, and it is a very bad experience. So, yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you have understood everything I have explained in this video. If you have not, then please rewind the video where you didn't understood anything. And yeah, here I have something to tell you. Wait a minute. Remember that the candidate elimination algorithm balances between generalization and specialization as it encounters examples, and it adjusts its general and specific hypothesis accordingly to learn the target concept. So this candidate elimination algorithm is not like finders algorithm. It is the finders algorithm is only considering the positive examples, but here we are considering both positive and negative, and we are making our specific and general hypothesis more understandable, and we will adjust it according to the current example. So that is candidate elimination algorithm. I hope you have understood everything. Whew, I think you are also tired. So yeah, that's it for this video. I will see you in next video. Until then, subscribe to the channel for more such videos and press that bell icon so that you will get updates whenever I post a new video. And yeah, thanks for watching.